What's up, everybody? We've got a new episode of Gen V Season 2 to dive into, with some more characters coming over from the main show, making their way into the mess it got you. Let's dive into episode 206. The show picked up right after we left it in episode 5, and I mentioned this in my breakdown for that episode, but we finished the sequence here, so I figured I'd bring it up again. I love this whole plan and this entire sequence from Dean Cypher, leaving Annabeth, Marie's sister, to die so that Marie unlocks more of her potential for you, only to set off the alarms with the full intention being return everybody to their cells. He's such a good villain. Then when their escape leads them to a dead end, Sam comes wrecking into Elmira after a change of heart, and he's a hero once again. But the big thing from the opening sequence, at least for me, and it's kind of a subtle moment, but one that pays off by the end of this episode, is they're discussing everything in the van, and Marie, she explains, how she thinks she saved Annabeth, and there's a quick cut to Maddie Phillips, who plays Kate, and she's thinking, oh, Marie can fix me. Anyways, we got to see some more freaky deaky nurse Cypher this week, and I joke about it, but when he learns about the Guardian's escape, there's two things to watch. One, he doesn't care about anyone except for Marie, which we of course knew. Here it just kind of feels like, well shit, at least one of these Guardians, they're not making it out of this season. And two, it's interesting that, he kind of takes his anger out on the burnt body, the whole, oh, that's a Godolkin, the burnt body, and he's controlling the body as Cypher theory is all but confirmed to me after this episode. Another thing that was confirmed this week, and that I predicted last week after finding her in Elmira, is that Annabeth is a Supe. Marie detects a V in her system, and she can see into the future in some sort of fashion. She's untrained though, so her powers, they're inconsistent. But I do still wonder, how long was she at Elmira? I still think it was since the first time, at the very least, that Marie and everybody else was there. Regardless, Vicar finds the Guardians, and we got a decent fight out of that. It wasn't the show's best, far from it, but it didn't need to be because it ended with Stan Edgar and Zoe, Newman's father, and her daughter finding the gang too, and god damn did I forget about Victoria's little freak. She takes out Vicar, and they want Marie on Team Edgar as Stan tries to take the throne back from Homelander. Giancarlo Esposito's return also brought what I think is a top 10 bit for at least Gen V, but I think for the entire boys universe with the bunker thing. And I know it's quick, but for me, it was so good. From the Zuckerberg part of it to just the general dig it, how fucking weird it is that all these billionaires have these doomsday bunkers, and like half of them are right next to each other on islands as if they know something that we don't. But that part of it aside, Edgar did reveal that Homelander was part of Project Odessa 2, the project that started out as Godolkin's quest, wanted to make god-tier soups, but it wasn't until Cypher came around that it was successful. Even then, it was years and years of failure, with Homelander and Marie being the only survivors, and I feel more confident than ever in my prediction that Marie will be the key to The Boys Season 5. Then Edgar also threw it out there that when he started at Vought, there were some rumors of Godolkin surviving the explosion that we, the audience, saw at the beginning of Gen V Season 2. Now, we're already kind of there with the body Cypher's been caring for, right? We've already kind of come to that conclusion ourselves with what we've seen already, but it's just not confirmed yet. However, with his goal being to control soups, the final thing that I'm going to add to my theory that I've kind of been building throughout the season for him is that when Cypher gained the power, or I guess I should say, when Godolkin gained the power to control soups, feeling that power that he wanted to control for himself, it shifted his goal to soup supremacy. But before I wrap this week's breakdown up, I wanted to make sure I highlighted this moment right here too, amidst the chaos and amidst the jokes, because it's a great moment between Zoe and Annabeth. Both of them are victims of Compound V in multiple different ways, but Zoe wishes that she could have saved her parents, Victoria and Dr. Pershing. I'm blanking on his in-universe name, so he's Dr. Pershing. Well, Annabeth, Marie's sister, she thinks that's important there. She doesn't wish she could have saved them. She thinks she could have saved her parents because of her powers that she didn't know about at the time. So there's kind of two different levels of guilt there, right? And I just love this scene. But with that being said, the episode closed as Cypher reveals more of his plans before getting bitch whipped by Polarity. He wants only the strongest of soups to exist in the world, and part of that plan is wiping out 75% of the Gaju student body, but that's just the first phase. V lady, he's coming for your dumb ass, and I'm starting to think that Gen V Season 2 and The Boys Season 5 are truly just one big season split in two as Marie and Kate head off on their own mission. That was a good episode in and of itself, though. Nothing too crazy, just solid all around, in my opinion. They were on their game, as usual, with the bits. We got Giancarlo Esposito back in the middle of things in the universe, which is awesome, and we got a couple of solid action sequences before the true chaos kicks off next week, and in the finale, that's a solid week for me. And so that's going to do it for my breakdown of Gen V episode 206. As always, I want to know what you guys thought about this week's episode, so drop your thoughts down in the comments below and make sure you have a great day.